My name is Ward McGuire. I'm a CJF, and I'm from Avon, Missouri.
You know, the very essence of the mental game is this. The only reason an event matters is because we make it matter.
Welcome to the Mullins Farrier Podcast.
Every horse, whatever it was doing, had a season. Once their competition season finished, they took the shoes off, they chucked it out in the field with some other horses, and it had a 2, maybe 3 months period where it went and remembered what being a horse was all about.
Even in a cheaper area, your prices should be set by your skill level, by your experience. And some people might not feel that they're worth, as much as others. But if you're only charging $160 to shoe a horse, then the only way you're making money is on your trims.
The WCB was a way to make sure that you kept the trade alive. I think I'm a custodian of the trade, so it's like we have to keep it going.
It was hard, but you adapt and overcome, and I probably gets to me where I am now. It's problem solving, horseshoeing's problem solving, and back in the day it was problem solving how to be as strong as the older apprentices. So it's all about adapting and overcoming, which was good.
I know we learn every day, but you do have to put yourself outside the box and just continue to learn, which is why I was just trying to do my fellowship, because I still have apprentices, and if I stay at my AW, I'm stagnant.
Welcome, everyone. A little shopkeeping before we start. A big thank you to all of the new sponsors of the podcast over the past couple weeks. I had some folks buy some swag off of me at the Page Poss Clinic that I attended last weekend, hosted by the Ontario Farriers Association. If you get a chance to see one of her clinics, there are tons of insights to be gained from her unique dissection methods. So thank you to Ashley Shaw, Wes Cowie, Kyle David, and Brandy Halley Hoppy. If you would like to purchase some swag, you can go online. The links will be in the show notes. There is both a Canadian and American website to make shipping easier for you. Special thank you to Jordan Levisky, who purchased a few items online for that. And finally, a special thank you to the folks who bought the podcast a coffee in the past couple weeks: Daniel Bishop Horseshoeing, Ben O'Greeling, and Nick Harvey. Apologize if I pronounced anybody's name wrong, but thank you for all of your support. Every little bit helps to offset the costs of producing this for you. Now, the odds are, if you've taken an AFA certification exam in the past several years, somewhere within the Midwestern US, you've probably run into this gentleman. I met Ward at both of my exams and several others that I've attended, and he is everything you would want in an AFA tester. Fair and really good at putting you at ease, letting you know that he's there to help you, not fail you. As someone who has recently retired, Ward has a unique view on what we should be doing earlier on in our careers to set ourselves up for this eventuality. It's always a pleasure to run into this gentleman. I hope you enjoy the conversation as much as I did. And the first time I met you, I was taking my CF at the Heartland.
Yes,
you came in with that crew of daunting-looking fellows that came to test us.
We scared you bad, didn't we?
Yes, you did. Yep. You scared us bad until you guys sat us down and Brian said, "We're here to help you pass."
Yeah, that's what we're there for.
Yeah. You could actually see the room, the sea of shoulders just kind of, oh, yeah.
Oh, they're not the devil.
Yeah.
They don't have horns under those hats.
Yeah. Now, that is a huge time commitment, a lot of effort, a lot of weekends, and a lot of cold pizza for lunch.
Yes.
What made you decide to go that route?
Well, it's actually Dusty Franklin's fault.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he helped me get my CJF, and he says, "I don't want to not see you no more." I said, "Okay, well, we'll do this."
Right.
Yeah.
So you just immediately...
Right after I CJF'd, I went to Chris's and started my road to the testers deal. So
okay.
We started our provisional up there, and they lost my paperwork, so I had to start all over, which was actually good for me because it helped me get into it a little better.
Yeah, right. Cool. Now, I guess we should start at the beginning. How did you become a shoer in the first place?
I couldn't find anybody to shoe my wife's horse at the time. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So I decided, and I was cleaning tile floor in Little Rock. I was living here in Little Rock, and I got tired of working at night. And I told her, I said, I'm done working at night. We're going to find me something else to do. So she said, well, what about shoeing school? Okay.
Really?
I called Oklahoma Horseshoeing School, and I attended Oklahoma Horseshoeing School in October of 1990.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Been a while.
Yeah. No kidding.
Yeah.
And from there, did you work with somebody or did you just hit the ground running?
Went kind of out on my own, and I thought I was doing pretty good till I met some guys that were actually better than me, and they kind of humbled me a little bit, and I started on the road to getting better, and they actually helped me out doing that. So
okay.
It's kind of humbling to think back on it. You know, I shod for 13 years without any help, and it was amazing how close I was to where I needed to be.
Right. So discovering those people, were those AFA
Yes,
people?
AFA guys.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They introduced me to the AFA, and went and got my membership and started on the road to my certification.
Okay.
And it took a while.
Right. And we were talking about this morning. How did that journey go for you?
It went all right. You know, I mean, if I had passed it all the first time, I would have learned nothing.
Yeah.
But the journey is worth the trip.
Yes, for sure. So starting it so far into your career, can you sort of point to some things that really changed in your day-to-day shoeing after you pursued that?
Made me more aware of the horse's foot.
Yeah, funny that.
You can slap shoes on anything.
Yeah.
But actually fit your foot it's a skill.
Yeah. Yeah. And one you don't know you're lacking until you find out.
And you're under time and they say, go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure. So was competing any part of your journey? Or
never had any desire to compete. I won a deal they had in Arkansas. It was a novice deal, and that was as far as I went with my competing.
Yeah, I competed a little bit when I first started, a handful of times, and then I ended up pursuing a different path.
I really respect the guys that are into competing because they really have a desire to do it. And sitting here at convention right now watching it, all this has got me want to go set my forge back up.
Yeah, you're all riled up.
Yeah.
This would be a good time to sort of talk about what happened to you recently and how that kind of changed things for you.
Well, in April, I started having some heart issues, and I have not picked a horse's foot up since April. And in July, I had bypass surgery and a valve replacement in my heart. And guys, I tell you what, you got to take care of yourselves.
Yeah.
Because ain't nobody going to do it for you.
No.
You know, I get around some young guys and I start talking to them about their future, getting them a retirement account started and getting some type of disability insurance, whether it be Aflac or mine's Illinois Mutual.
Okay.
And they've been Johnny on the spot.
Yeah.
I farmed all my horses out off my book to several farriers, and I've got a few of them still sending me the checks. And I tell them, guys, I don't need it. Too bad. Or that's what this is about.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's a pretty incredible trade that way. I've heard that story and been a part of those kind of groups myself. Yeah. So what are some of the things that if you were to start your career over again, and this would be for the benefit of the younger folks, what are some of the things you would have done differently to sort of take care of yourself?
Well, number one, I wouldn't have done all the rank horses that everybody brought me. That was so dang intriguing when I was younger.
Yeah. We like a challenge.
I'd have said no more.
Right.
Yeah. And no is a word that does not require an explanation.
Wow, that's a good point.
When you tell somebody no, they say, why?
Yeah.
Well, because I don't have to answer that. And the older I get, the more I'm using the word no.
Right.
You know, if I could go back to tell my younger self, I would tell them to use no more. So,
yeah. You think you have to finish those ones.
You know, I've been pretty lucky in my career. I've not been hurt real bad. I've been cut to where I hadn't required stitches, but I've not broken any bones shoeing or anything like that. I get around some of the rank horses and I don't get excited around them.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times your reaction keys their reaction. So,
right.
You know, that goes back into being able to do horsemanship with them. So,
yeah.
And that's something that the young farriers need to learn too, is a little bit of horsemanship and horse handling skills.
Did you grow up with horses, or this was just through your
No,
wife?
my dad told me we didn't have room for a horse on 365 acres of a dairy farm.
Oh, yeah, say dairy farm, and you don't have to say anymore.
We did. He just didn't want to buy me one. But he always told me, he says, if when you get old enough, you can have as many as you want. And right now I have 22 head. So. Yeah.
Yeah, you filled that card.
Yes, I did.
My dad worked on a dairy farm as well. So to him, horses were hay burners.
Yes, that's exactly what they were called.
Yeah. You pursue this, you end up meeting some of the right people. Because you've been in it since the 90s, you must have seen a lot of changes.
Well, when I first got into it, a lot, getting somebody to help you was like pulling teeth. It started changing about then. Walt Taylor started the AFA back in the early 80s.
Right.
Might have even been 70s. And he started changing the outlook of that.
Right.
And thank God for him. So.
Yeah, that's trickled down to all of us.
Every one of us.
Yeah. So it was the sharing of knowledge. And then besides your fit and stuff like that, because of doing the certification stuff, do you think there are other things that have changed throughout your career that you maybe didn't see coming when you first started out?
Well, the brotherhood is really big in this. And if you have trouble, now you can pick up the phone and say, hey, man, I'm having trouble with this. They'll give you some insight, and there's more people you can call to get that help from.
Right. And that wasn't always a thing.
No, it was not a thing.
For somebody starting out, now they have access to all these videos and social media and everything. That was something completely lacking.
Facebook's changed a lot of stuff.
Hasn't it? Yeah. Not always.
And not always Facebook, YouTube and all of that.
Yeah.
Craig was YouTube.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched a lot of Craig videos before I got into people's shops. And
right.
Yeah, no, he helped a lot. You haven't been shoeing for
I have not picked a horse's foot up since April 1st.
Okay. And coming to an event like this, it all of a sudden stokes something, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's got the fire in the itch back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you bought a new farm or something several years back?
I married a lady, and we wound up with her family farm. Her dad passed away about 5 years ago, a little over 5 years ago, and we wound up with a big cattle farm. So.
Okay.
That's taken a lot of my time because there was a lot of deferred maintenance there. And I've about got it caught up and getting the itch to start helping people again. So
yeah. I bet. For something like this, especially after heart surgery, it slows you right down, and then it
wakes you up.
Yeah, and how would you describe that?
Well, I really don't know how to answer that. I've always had a high threshold of pain, and stuff just that's supposed to hurt doesn't. So, you get into stuff, and I'll be helping some guys like on my farm do some stuff, and they'll say, well, where do we put that deal? Oh, it's over here. And I'll pick it up and say, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'll suffer for a week. So
right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got myself on a self-regulated deal to where I'm going to try not to pick anything up till the first of the year. So.
Okay. Start slowly.
Ain't nobody going to take care of me but me. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny how that works.
The fun part of it is you can't lie to yourself.
No.
Yeah. Well, I didn't do that. Yes, you did. Because your body says, hey, man, that's enough.
Yeah. So a lot of people I've spoken to, especially recently, they say after about 40, 45, that's when their body...
Mine was 50.
Really?
Yeah, I was shoeing 8 head a day, 5 days a week, just balls to the wall.
Right.
Going and blowing and doing, and then I would take a week off and go over to Dusty's and help him with his pre-certs. I miss that. I miss doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, you do have that natural teacher's inclination, I think.
Yeah, I try. So I don't always get that done, but
I saw you do it even in the 2 certifications you were at when I was there. So from the business end of things, other than the investing, is there any advice that you would give people that you wish you'd kind of known when you...
Well, I wish I'd started my Edward Jones a long time ago. Yeah. I wish somebody had said, hey, nobody's going to do this for you. You need to do it for you. And I do it as a business expense. I have a little bit of money taken out every month, and I don't even miss it. So, and it goes straight into my retirement account. And of course, we know what the stock market's doing. So I'm paying them to play. So anyway.
Yeah. That is the tough part about it, isn't it?
Yeah. And insurance, disability insurance is a must. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Yeah.
You know, it may not be a horse kicking you or you cutting your leg off with a hoof knife or whatever. It may be like your heart.
Right.
You know, and it's not fun to sit and watch.
No.
Especially when you're used to doing. It's harder on me to sit and watch than it is to do. So
yeah. No, that's it. Just taking it. You're basically been benched for a while. And yeah, that's tough. When you have you set up your insurance, how did you work that out? Do you basically have it so that it covers all of your basic expenses?
The disability policy I have guaranteed my income.
Okay. So
it didn't guarantee my gross income. It guaranteed my net income.
Right. Which
that covers enough of my bills. So, you know, I've really not had to worry about my bills.
Oh, that's good.
And then I've got 3 of the guys that are doing horses that I sent them that are sending me the checks. So,
right.
And they don't have to do that.
No.
Very humbling to have that done. So,
yeah, no kidding. Yeah, it's quite the brotherhood. This portion of the podcast is called the Stratum Tictorium. These are the short answer, surface stuff questions, but it's okay if the guest wants to go deeper. Enjoy. What's your favorite book?
Lonesome Dove.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Now, was that a series or that was just one?
Well, there's 4 books in the series.
Okay. Yeah. Wasn't there a TV series or something based on that?
They did a TV series, but they kind of got off of the book.
Did they? Yeah. I do remember watching
the book's always better than the movie.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And the movie was damn good. Yes, it was.
Right. Favorite brand of nails?
Capewell.
Did you change that much in your career, or did you kind of stick with what you
I started out with Capewell and I went to Delta and I came back to Capewell.
Okay. What shoe sizes would you generally have to stock the most of?
1s and 0s.
Favorite make of rasp?
Heller.
The green tang?
No, the red tang.
Okay. Do you have a dream farrier rig?
Well, I do, but I can't afford it. Yeah, I don't. I try not to dwell on it. So anyway.
Was that a trailer or?
Oh, it was a body.
A body?
Yeah.
What is your rig?
I've got a 2002 F250 Super Duty that I've got with a camper shell gull wing doors on.
Yep.
I've got so many miles on it. I've got it sold now, so I'm going to be tearing it apart, and I'm going to try to donate my camper shell to an upcoming farrier.
Oh, cool.
And I've got a trailer I'm putting together. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to start a shop there at my farm, and I go let people bring them to me.
Right. Yeah. There've been a few people who are making that change.
Yes.
Right. Where
I've had a shop for the last 15 years or better. Well, it's been almost 20. And I started letting people bring them to me. And I always deduct a little bit out of what I charge because of my rig.
Right.
And then if they want me to come to them, I'd add that back in.
Right.
And they always complain. And I say, look, when you add my truck, I've got to add my insurance and tires and oil changes and all of that. And I said, that's part of it. So.
Yeah. How many people would chip in like that? Is it enough that you could sustain a business that way if you wanted to?
Yeah. When I first started, it was probably maybe 25% would bring them to me.
Okay.
And then after a few years, it was 50%. And then when I went down, it was probably 75 or 80% was bringing them to me.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I went from driving a lot to driving hardly at all. Mm-hmm. So my truck really liked it.
Yeah. No kidding. So many benefits to having that. It's just convincing people to go that route.
You know, it's not really hard. They understand about fuel prices and all that. And I said, look, if you want to save money, bring them to me.
Yeah. Right.
And they think they're saving money. They don't realize they're spending the fuel.
Right. Yeah.
To do it. But now when they've got 3 or 4 head, I would spend my money to go to them, but I would do 3 or 4 head. Well, they're loading in a trailer and bringing the 3 or 4 to me.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. Favorite rounding hammer?
I've got a Jim Poor rounding hammer that I'm pretty proud of.
Yeah.
I swore up and down I'd never spend $100 for a hammer, and I didn't. I spent $175, and that's been 25 years ago, and I still have his rounding hammer.
What weight was that?
The 2-pounder.
The 2-pounder. Yep. What is your favorite type of bar stock to work with?
5/16 by 3/4 because it's easy.
Yep. Yep. Favorite pastime after work? Do you have time after work?
Really, I don't. I sit and I think, well, been a lot of time thinking since April, and I really don't have a hobby.
No.
Nope.
This has always been it.
Yep. It's been about this. I delved into a little bit of knife making there for a while, and I blanked out 2 hoof knives, and I've never finished them, and it's been 10 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're still laying on the bench. It's
Well, you don't want to rush anything.
no.
What's the next thing on your bucket list?
Getting well.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, because I'm still a kid at heart.
Mm.
Yeah, the old guy in the mirror says, you feel like you're 16, but man, you look rough. Yeah. What happened?
To those listening, he doesn't look rough. I hope I look that good. Favorite brand of keg shoe?
St. Croix. I've been a St. Croix guy from the time I got out of school.
Okay.
I like Kirkhart too, but my go-to shoe would be St. Croix. Okay. And not the lights. I do not like the lights.
Okay. Ideal number of horses to shoe all around in one day?
Now or when I was younger?
When you were younger, sure.
I would do anywhere from 10 to 12.
Holy jeez.
Yeah, it was balls to the wall, buddy.
And did you always work on your own, or did you have...
I worked on my own from the time I got out of shoeing school and till I met Todd Bell. And Todd really helped me out. So.
Okay. Wow. You really did go balls to the wall. Favorite anvil?
My favorite anvil is my Coleslaw. It's over 120 years old.
Really?
Yeah, I've kind of retired it. It's got great big magnets on it because it had a belly in it when we first got it. So we welded it up with 70-18 rod and had it sent to a flat grinder. And when I got it back, it would pierce your ears ringing.
Okay. Yeah.
So I retired it, and I've got Emerson on my truck, and then I've got an anvil brand that I got from Craig.
Okay.
In my shop, so it's a 200-pound anvil. So.
Okay. Gotcha.
I don't have to chase them big anvils like that. If you've got a 100-pounder and you're out on concrete, you know what I mean.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, you get dizzy.
Yeah.
Do you have a Farrier Terrier? Do you have a dog that comes with you?
Yeah, I've kept a Border Collie with me quite a while.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Peach is pretty infamous out there at 5 stars. So.
Okay.
She's getting old now. She's 12. So.
Is she? Yeah. If you're stumped on a case or needed backup, who did you call?
At the end of the day, it was Todd. And, it's anybody now. I'll just close my eyes and punch a button, and I can get help from anybody I want.
Right, yeah.
And that's the good thing about this brotherhood.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite shoe or package if you've got a mystery lameness that you don't have like a vet's diagnosis on?
I've been working with a vet out of Thomasville, Missouri, and he does a lot of the Nanrick stuff. And I tell you what, some of that's amazing.
Yeah.
Of what it'll do for a horse, but it is a therapeutic package, and that means it's temporary.
Right. Yeah. Your goal is to get them out of it.
Get them out of it. Yeah.
So the Nanricks, is that the rail shoes?
Yeah. Right. They got rail shoes, and then they've got omnidirectional type full rocker shoe and stuff like that. And we bananaed them on stuff. And
yeah, we were having that conversation earlier. So you've really found some success with the banana type shoes.
I don't really get a whole lot of therapeutic cases that I can be there from start to finish on.
Right.
And there's a few of them that I did go from start to finish on. And, people get disenamored with their horse because it's just not getting any better. Well, the horse has to be a part of this too. Right. So they have to be a player in this to get better. So
yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Oh, and you kind of had a warning too with the banana application.
Yeah, you got to put them in the right place. You got to know where you're putting them. Radiographs are a plus. Good radiographs are a plus.
But yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah. We've all experienced the ones that aren't really helpful at all.
You got to know how to take those x-rays. So.
Yeah. So applying something like that, will you have the vet right there to make sure that...
I'm not confident enough to just do it out on my own.
Right, and then have them check after.
I have transitioned out of the vet with them and put them on flat too, instead of banana on them. So.
Right. Okay. It's one I still haven't run into much, but I'm still trying to grasp the concept.
Right.
Something about it my brain struggles with, but so many people like yourself have told me good things. So what do you use as your planner?
Well, a lot of people use their phone, and I'm kind of old tech. I still got to go and get a day planner and put it in a book and carry the book around with me because you know what? When that thing crashes the ground, all I got to do is pick it up. And when my phone crashes, I'm going, oh, my God.
Yeah. I actually just put a new screen protector on mine. It fell off my truck, hit the ground, and my rounding hammer fell behind it and landed on the screen. So it didn't break the screen, but
I keep one of those phones that's military grade just for that purpose.
yeah.
And if I get mad, I can throw it at me.
They also make a good clinch block if you.
Well,
you
that's
need
what they
something.
say.
Yeah.
I've never used one as a clinch block, but
There's an app for that.
yes,
Do you have a favorite method of soothing aches and pains?
ibuprofen.
Yeah.
It's my candy of choice.
In so many flavors. Favorite drink?
I'd say unsweet tea.
Oh, yeah?
And that shocks people because I'm from the South and everybody drinks sweet
Sweet
tea.
tea,
Well,
yeah.
I want unsweet tea. And the reason I went to unsweet tea is because I would make sweet tea and I'd come back to the fridge an hour later and there'd be about a quarter inch in the bottom of the deal. I said, what the heck? Well, we didn't drink it all. So I went to unsweet and that broke them. They stopped getting into the tea.
Yeah, you developed a taste for it and they didn't. Well, as a Canadian, that's one of the big things we look forward to about coming down here because Canada cannot make sweet tea or regular iced tea very
Really?
well. Yeah, we just have not sorted it out, and I don't know why.
I get the Lipton bags that'll make, it says make a gallon,
Yeah.
and I'll put water in a 4-cup measuring cup, and I'll stick it in the microwave for three minutes,
Oh,
and I'll
really?
let it sit there and steep, and then I'll dump it in there and fill it up and all that.
Way you go. Okay, might try that. Do you work out?
Yeah, I work outside all the time. No, I don't work out per se.
Okay.
You know, I mean, our job's strenuous enough as it is.
Yep. Favorite genre of music?
Country.
Old school or new or
Old
all?
school.
Old school.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the classic. Now, every once in a while, I'll delve off into the classic rock, too.
Yeah. Okay.
That brings back memories.
Yeah. What would you have been if not a farrier?
I should have been a vet.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I had the backing when I was a kid, I'd have been an equine vet
Right.
because I love the horse so much. So
Okay. Yep. And the last one, the COVID question, who would you want to be stuck in a shop with for a month under quarantine?
probably my wife.
It's a good answer. Daniel Jones was sitting there and his wife was sitting next to him and he's like, now who would I? And I was like, just say your wife.
Yeah, my wife's not even close to here. So anyway, but that's probably true.
Yeah.
You know, as far as a mentor I would want to be stuck with, I don't know, probably there's a whole genre of people.
Isn't there?
And I don't think they'd let you have a whole bunch.
The shop might burn down.
Yeah, it might.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate this.
Thank you for asking about this. This was a pleasure, buddy.
All right. Well, I see your wisdom. We just needed to share it with a bigger audience.
Well, I don't know if it was wisdom or not, but anyway, that's my take on it. So
Well, thank you.